welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. This week we also have 16 and Pregnant recap, and we also have Janelle's docuseries review. Go ahead and check those out. If you like the kind of content that I post, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this episode. This episode starts off with Chelsea. Aubrey says that she doesn't want Grandma Donna to have her cell phone number, which is kind of funny, you gotta admit. I sort of feel her on it though. You know how grandmas are, always calling you 8 times in a row to tell you that she made food and she wants you to come over and eat it, and not recognizing that everyone nowadays hates phone calls, especially younger generation like Aubrey. Like, Grandma, I will teach you how to text. I beg you to please try it. Chelsea asks why, and Aubrey just groans and says, now it'll be awkward. And Chelsea's like, no, don't worry. I'll tell her that it's me who doesn't want her number on there. Yeah, okay, and just hope the lady doesn't watch this internationally broadcast episode of Teen Mom and learn that it's actually Aubrey that doesn't want it on there. Nova wants to go to her grandma's house, and Brianna doesn't understand why all of a sudden this is happening. Maybe because her other grandma isn't up her ass all day in a tiny apartment? I don't know. Next is Jade. Her parents are back with her, sleeping all day and not helping. They don't watch Chloe and they don't pay rent. Jade wishes that Sean would just admit that he's an addict, and she would have more respect for him if he did. Her daughter Chloe asks, is Daddy still at work? And Jade has to say yes, but he'll be back soon. I'm surprised that the poor kid even had the word work in her vocabulary. It sure wasn't Sean teaching her that. Guess Jade must be the only one talking to her, because the word work is literally like a curse word to Christy and Sean. Victoria is going to be induced early, so Leah and her girls stay at Victoria's house. Recently, Allie fell and hurt her foot at Corey's, so Leah is very worried to leave Allie's side. Around 10 years old is when Allie's disease starts to progress, so Leah's very worried that the leg issues are a sign of more to come. Kail cancels the trip to Texas because Lincoln has the flu. And I just find it very interesting that her sister being hospitalized with a dog bite was not a valid excuse to Kail, but her son being sick, now that's an excuse to Kail. And that's not me downplaying Lincoln being sick, that's me finding Kail to be a massive hypocrite here. Javi texts Kail that he no longer wants to meet her halfway for exchanges because she's mean to him and Lauren. And Kail gets mad because he already agreed to meet her halfway to exchange the kids beforehand. And while Kail's ranting, she's like, you're lying and you said this, and is that why you tried to fuck me on Tuesday in the Wawa parking lot while your girlfriend was home watching your kid? Damn! So here's the story according to Kail. Javi came down to that parking lot, marched down, opened her car door, and said, I wanna fuck you. Plain and simple. Imagine Javi sweating, running up to your car with a boner in the gas station parking lot while you're sipping on your Wawa coffee and busting open your door like, I wanna fuck you! Like, what is this, porn? Like, bitch, that is not sexy, Javi. And Kail's like, yep, that's what happened. Yep. And I just said, bye, Javi. Bullshit, Kail. How did he know you were gonna be at Wawa when it had nothing to do with your kids? Had nothing to do with Lincoln, had nothing to do with Isaac, and why would he have had the audacity to run into your car like that demanding sex unless something has already happened, you know, that would lead him to expect that? Also, interesting to note, this is around the same time that her baby Creed was conceived, and he's looking awfully lighter skinned than Lux. We'll just sit on that for a minute. Yes, I am implying that that baby could be Javi's, and I definitely think Javi and Kail were hooking up. I don't think she just told him, bye Javi, every single time. I think there was a little something going on there, whether it was to make Chris jealous, or whether it was because she hates Lauren so much and she just wants to show up Lauren. I think those two were hooking up. I don't think he would have asked that stuff if it didn't happen in 3 years, you know what I mean? Kail shows the text to prove that Javi was trying to hook up with her, and in which Javi looks like a massive fuckboy. Let me slide. Plus the fuckboy's favorite emoji, the eye roll that they use whenever you don't say yes right away. Kail is pissed and going off. She's like, oh, you could come to Middletown to fuck me, but not to meet your son? So you agree. He has come to Middletown to fuck you before. Kail? I don't buy it. I don't buy that Javi constantly hits Kail up without her ever saying yes. She probably bangs Javi on the side constantly to try to make Chris jealous. And apparently after this, Lauren deleted all her pictures with Javi and left the state. Not too sure how true that is, but girl, you should have, because this shit is humiliating. What is this, the 3rd time he's cheated on her on camera? Kail is so proud of her little revelation too. She's like, ha, I disrespected you now, Javi, while Javi's sitting there texting her like, yeah, you better not be saying anything crazy on film right now. Oh, my brother will come to pick up Lincoln, and you better say thank you. Wonder how Lauren feels about this. She made Javi remodel the bathroom that he hooked up with that girl in, but like, you could tat your name on Javi's face and he'd still cheat on you. It's embarrassing. Javi is not worth the humiliation, Lauren, even if he does have them big fat DSL lips. Aubrey still wants to go to Donna's, she just doesn't want her cell phone number. So they take family pictures and then they drop her off with Donna at the gas station. Brianna is happy for Nova and her relationship with her grandma. While she's talking, Stella announces, "I farted!" More entertaining than all of Chelsea's scenes combined. After dropping Nova off at her grandma's, Roxanne starts crying with how happy she is for her. Sean calls Jade and insists that it wasn't my shit, bro, that wasn't my drugs. Jade actually reveals that she never saw the ring cam video. Guess she doesn't need to. It's clear that they're all on drugs. He apologized, but he also says, "I'm a man losing everything I have for no reason, Jade. You have to understand." He tries to pin the blame on Christy, saying they always say they're going to be at work and never actually go, and I believe him. Jade agrees to meet with Sean as long as he takes a drug test. Kail picks up Isaac from Javi off camera, and she said that he humiliated her. Because when she said bye to him, he turned up his nose, snubbed her, and just left. Okay, that's the kind of thing that doesn't bother you unless you're fucking. If you supposedly deny Javi every single time and you have no feelings for him, why does it even matter that he didn't say bye-bye to you? Like, what are you, 12 years old? Even Kail's dog looks sick of this shit. Then Kail tries to pin it off on Isaac, saying like, Isaac said that was unexpected when Javi didn't say bye to me. He didn't give Isaac a hug, and poor Isaac was insulted. Bitch, your pride was insulted. Stop pinning this off on your kid. She's like, "You better not do that again in front of my son." Oh, please. You are the one insulted here, not Isaac. She says, "I feel dumb, but I don't react this way for nothing, you know. Some of this is his fault." And then her dog starts farting, which is somehow spewing even less hot air than Kail is. And her friend has to ask, who farted? Was it the dog? Meaning she can't even distinguish between Kail farts and the dog farts. Kail doesn't want a relationship with Lauren unless Javi is honest. She doesn't want to sit there looking like a liar. What, like you are now? At school, Nova was crying for Brianna after the sleepover with her grandma. They pick her up and Nova says that she's not used to them dropping her off. Maybe it was a bit too much too fast, but I do appreciate Brianna not shutting out Devon's side of the family. Brianna says, "I don't want you to be sad. This will be your new normal, so you should feel comfortable with your grandma." Did anyone else just cringe upon hearing her say the words new normal? I've heard that so many times since the coronavirus, I just like, shut up. I don't want a new normal. Leah is finding it hard to support Victoria in the delivery room because she can't stop thinking about Allie's foot injury. Royer or Roger or whatever couldn't get a visa on time, but he does show up over FaceTime for the birth. Victoria gives birth to a healthy baby, Kai. Congratulations, Victoria. Chelsea doesn't want Aubrey to have Adam's phone number. Her weird logic is that Adam didn't want to put through the effort to go through Chelsea to talk to Aubrey, so he doesn't deserve to have easy access to her now. Okay. And this is a more valid concern that she has. She said that she doesn't want Aubrey to be offended when Adam leaves her ass on red like he used to do to Chelsea. Sean arrives and Jade gives him a drug test. He looks super nervous, and then when he hands it to her, it's like suspiciously clear. He says, "Did I pass?" in like this meek voice, which is not typically what you say when you're not on drugs and you know you passed. But to everyone's surprise, he actually does pass the drug test. Everything is negative. Like, wow, that's good, I guess, assuming he didn't just dip it in the toilet water, but we're gonna stay positive here, unlike his test. Jade is relieved and plans to kick her parents out again and replace them with Sean in her house. Devon's mom and sister and Devon come to visit Nova. Brianna tells them about how she was crying, and they try to reassure her that she'll be okay. Nova does say that she wants to sleep over again. I think she was just a little overwhelmed with the change in her schedule. Brianna says that Nova needs love from everywhere, not just one direction. Allie comes and meets the baby. Leah makes her an x-ray appointment for her foot, and she asks Allie how she feels. Allie says it hurts bad to walk now, and that when she hurt her foot, she never cried that loud in her life. Aww. Leah starts crying and telling her how proud they are of her. It's pretty sad to actually watch this girl's disease progress on television, I'm not gonna lie. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom 2. Do you think that Javi and Kail did hook up at some point? Why does Lauren continue to put up with it? And did Sean legitimately pass that drug test? Make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for Teen Mom recaps every week.